Immortality is a fancy pursuit, from the time immemorial. All the villains of the history, after invading and conquering the world, had one and only last wish, immortality. This is peoples who had everything, but still remained unsatisfied, as life has not really happened to them. Immortality has always been a quest of miserable people. But the question is, can humans attain immortality someday? Some recent studies had shown that inhalation of oxygen results in the process of aging. Some forms of oxygen are toxic to cells and may produce significant amount of cellular injury. And we call this injury as aging. So, it will act as a life-saving energy, or life-threatening energy, depends on how our cells handle this oxygen. The powerhouse of cell, the mitochondria, will burns oxygen and fats for energy, then along with it, a toxic oxygen pollutants, called oxygen-free radicals, is also created. And this radicals leads to oxidative damage. Eventually, this damage is so extensive in our cells that, as we age, the cellular process begins to decline, and we grow old. Also, these oxygen pollutants leads to various conditions in old persons, including cataracts, deafness, cardiovascular disease, and the Alzheimer's disease. So, someone quoted it right, we move to our graves closer, with each breath we intake. With this, comes in the practices of yoga, as a huge defender. Generally, the normal breathing of a human being ranges from 12 to 15 times per minute. Which means, we use less than 20% of our lung capacity during normal breathing. So, if our lung capacity is expanded, then our number of breaths per minute will come down naturally, without us controlling it. And, the less we intake oxygen, the oxidization process of aging slows down. So, yoga, and many other breathing pranamayas, aids to increase the lung capacity. This is how ancient sages lived for many hundreds of years, this is how they extended their lifetime, this is how they attained immortality.
See that by our own experience, a human being breathes between 12 to 15 times per minute. Is that the understanding? If you're breathing 15 times per minute, you're breathing 21,600 times per minute. 21,600 is not just an accidental number that you have arrived at. 21,600 is the number of nautical miles across the equator. And for every longitude that you have, between one longitude and the next longitude, the space is 60 nautical miles. This is considered as a minute. Anybody who's an aviator or a navigator knows this. We call the space as a minute, because that's 1 minute. And our breath and the cycles of the planet are very closely connected. If we drop our breathing to 12 on an average, suppose by doing the right kind of practices, you bring your breath to 12, we say you will live up to 108 years of age. If you drop your breath to 9, we say you will live up to 124 years of age. If you drop your breath to 6, we say you will live up to 164 years. If somebody comes to a state where they come to a static breath, no breath for long periods of time, that means it's almost like you're hibernating and being reborn. Such a person, we call him a nirmanakaya, that means he recreates his own body. He goes into hibernation states and recreates his body. For him, we don't fix a time span, it is his choice how long he lives. Till he has a certain purpose, he may live and he will die when he's well. He will not die because of ailments, he will not die because of something, he will die when he's well. So, this is not like an absolute thing, this is a general trajectory of life.
But that does not mean we intentionally stretch our normal breath, as it is not evolution of system. It is forcefully giving trauma to our body. So, only we practicing yoga asana, we should attain it. Also, the Indian scriptures and epics have mentioned the 8 Chiranjeevis, or the 8 divine immortals, who will retain their physical bodies till the end of the creation. And this is not some bogus stories or myth. It is the ancient representation of the science of immortality that the Vedic era sages wants to depict to us through these divine beings. Thank you for watching the video, and in our next video, we will talk about the science behind reincarnation, or taking on new body to be born again. Stay tuned with us, and please subscribe the channel to watch more exciting videos like this.